Hello, you gorgeous brides. Today we'll talk about all the tips and all the tea behind choosing the perfect wedding dress, because this may be like the most important part for the bride when it comes to her wedding. You'll know how to find the one, all the tips you'll have to use before setting on the dress, and everything else that might be useful. So by the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to know, all the little tips and all the little details that you have to consider before setting on the perfect dress for your wedding. And I assure you, you'll be completely happy with your choice by the end of this video. I'm Katie and this is OLIVIA BOTTEGA Wedding Dresses. Let's go! So the first thing that you have to think about is do your research. Like, you really have to do your homework. You have to browse through Pinterest, through Instagram, through Facebook. This is like the most logical advice you will ever hear, but you will actually need to create the perfect mood board for your wedding dress. You want to look at the silhouettes, you want to look at the way how other brides look wearing their dresses. And I actually recommend not looking for beautiful pictures. I recommend looking at the real pictures from the real weddings, because this is the best way to understand how the final dress will look when you wear it. And the best way to find this type of pictures is to actually go through reviews. So you can go to some wedding dress store and online store and find for the reviews section and find the pictures of other brides wearing this exact dress. This will give you a better understanding of what you're looking for. Figure out your budget first, because let's imagine that, for example, you've settled on a $1,000 budget for your wedding dress, and then you go into the store and you find that perfect $3,000 dress, and you're like, oh my god, like my budget is just $1,000 and this one is $3,000. You do not want that situation to happen. So if you settle on a budget, you will look within these prices. I'm not going above that, and I'm not willing to go super below that. This is like my budget, this one, this exact. This will be actually a very helpful idea. For example, at OLIVIA BOTTEGA's website, you can actually set the amount that you're willing to pay for your wedding dress, and we have actually so many different budgets. We have super low budget wedding dresses and extremely beautiful wedding dresses, and they are actually not that expensive. I'm sure you can just browse through and get the general idea. So you actually want to think about silhouettes that would look good on your body type. For example, you can find the dress that will hide the places that you want to hide, and you can make sure that the final dress that you are settling for will actually reveal the most beautiful parts that you are willing to reveal. So actually, if you feel like showing some skin, that is the mood. If you feel like going more modest, that is also an option. It's all up to you. Think about fabric and colors, because nowadays it is actually popular to go for dresses that are bluish, pinkish, dresses with shades of red, golden, champagne, and stuff like that, or you can go for a classy ivory shade, because this is the ultimate winner. But actually black dresses have a lot of inspiration to it. So there is no need to jump for a black dress if you're not feeling like it, or there is no need to jump for an ivory dress if you do not feel like it. Just do whatever, choose whatever you feel like, okay? So there are more things to consider, but we have something else to focus on right now, don't we? So actually, pretty much every bridal brand have their own size chart, and you do not want to miss that. So for example, let's say if you are the size US 6 and you go for a dress that is also size 6, but then turns out that from their size chart, size 6 is size 8, and then you're size 2, and then it's just so difficult. So you better just enter their website where it's this is our size chart, this is how you should measure yourself, where everything is super clear and super easy to understand. So just make sure to follow each brand's sizing chart so you are not missing anything, okay? You may also want to stay away from the shady brands, and by shady brands I mean the ones that overcharge you, or by the checkout, at the checkout they're okay, we told you that you'll have to pay $500, but now you'll have to pay $1,000. No, this is not gonna work. This is a shady brand. So make sure that they will not overcharge you, they will not ask you to pay extra, and they will not run away with your money. I don't know, just make sure to read the reviews, make sure that the brand is well known, that it's reputable, and that everybody knows that brand and everybody wants to buy from that brand, and that in that way you will not make a mistake, okay? You may also want to plan your purchase way ahead before your wedding. So let's say that your wedding is in a year, okay? This is a lot of time, but most brands, they also want to make your dress like within 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 12 months. But if you are feeling like you're just about to get married in like 4 weeks and you have no dress and you're like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Olivia Bottega has you covered. So actually, we can make dresses from 4 to 13 weeks depending on the situation. Like, we do have an ASAP option, but if you still have like a little bit of time, that would be the most perfect solution. But if not, then just talk to our manager and tell them the situation, and we'll make sure to help you out. Make sure that your dress fits all of your dreams perfectly. Sometimes it happens that you look at a dress and you're like, oh my god, this is the perfect one. And then you're like, oh, but I wish the sleeves were different, the cutout was different, and maybe some sparkles more. So yeah, in that way, it's easy to customize a dress. For example, we do customization service, and it's like super easy, super unique, and super fun, and I'm sure that you're gonna love it. So if that happens, that you found the dress and then you want to customize something, just do it. Don't even think about it, just do it. It is best not to get a dress from the rail. It is best to actually order a dress after your own personal measurements. In that way, you will have the best fitting ever possible, okay? Now that you know almost everything, shall we move on? So before you have your dress ready to wear on your big special day, you better try it on. So first, you need to figure out if it fits you well, if it fits you great, if it is the perfect dress, okay? And then you actually, what you want to do is move around. Like, I'm not even kidding. You better try jumping, you better try dancing, sitting down and stuff like that, because trust me, brides do get surprised when they put, like, let's say, off-the-shoulder dress, and then they realize that they cannot lift their arms. So yeah, you better move around a little bit before your dress is ready to be worn and you are used to the way how the dress works on you. You want to make sure that you feel beautiful in your dress from all the angles. So that's why I recommend taking your friends to the final tryout and ask them to take a picture from here, a video from there, so that you understand how the dress looks from different angles, from the back, from the side, from the far away, from the below, everywhere. You can actually even take a selfie yourself, like try like recording these, like do different actions with your arms. So in that way you will understand how the dress looks on you, because sometimes, like, let's say photographer takes a picture and then you look not how you imagined, and that can be a bummer. So you don't want that. You want to check the dress, how it looks from all the angles before getting it. And you should also remember that your opinion is actually the only one that matters. And I don't care what your mom says, what your grandma says, this is your dress and you should go after what you feel like. So if you feel like you love this dress and it looks good on you and you like the way it looks from different angles, go for it, no matter what anybody says. And of course, you have to be 100% sure before you say yes, because saying yes to the perfect dress is almost as important as saying yes to the person that you've decided to marry and spend the rest of your lives together, okay? Anyways, probably the final wedding dress that you choose will look like nothing that you have had in your head before starting to plan your wedding, okay? And that is normal. Like, if you wished for, let's say, like a beautiful mermaid dress with a lot of sparkles and flair and like skin tight, and then you ended up with like a super lush princess ball gown, this is totally normal. Just remember to give yourself enough time to browse. Do not push yourself, do not like be hard on yourself, just go with whatever your heart tells you to do. Take enough time to explore and you'll have the most glorious wedding of all times. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow us to see more beautiful and inspirational and useful tips on how to have a beautiful wedding, and see you in the next video. Bye!